Hey guys, today I'm going to rank every island in My Singing Monsters, as well as Dawn of Fire. So I did this already like 2 years ago, but I'm going to do it again because a lot of stuff has changed. 3 new islands have been added to the game and my opinions have also changed a lot. So I will be using a tier list this time for ranking the islands, and the order will be alphabetical. I will also stop and let you listen to the part that I like the most from every song. And yeah, just remember that this is just my opinion and it's superior to yours, so just deal with it. Okay. So starting off, we're going to talk about Air Island. And Air Island is a pretty good song. Like, it's not extraordinary. I do have 2 main issues with it. Notably, I think that the dipsters and the wordos have too much of a negative impact on it. And I also think that the build-up is a bit too slow. But the final part is really good, so don't misinterpret this as criticism, because I like Air Island. Okay. So now we're going to talk about Amber Island. Since this island is now complete, I can finally give my full opinion on it. And I think it's a fairly good song in all regards. I love the beat, I love the atmosphere and the drop. But my main problem with it is that it still feels a bit empty. Like, there should just be more percussion in it. And the island didn't fully live up to my expectations, but they were really high. Bone Island is amazing in almost all regards. It's fast paced with great rhythm, and most monsters are really good, especially Pechidna, Banjaw and Wither. To be honest, it was kinda unfair for Big Blue Bubble to put all of these amazing magical monsters on this single island. I only have one issue with the island, and that is unsurprisingly the dipsters, who ruin the song like they always do. Yeah, Cave Island is a good island. I appreciate, you know, the emotional impact that is present within the main part. But a double-edged sword is that the song is somewhat all over the place, and the sheer amount of reverb gives the song an immense pressure, but it can sometimes be a little bit too much. This is also one of the songs that has improved a lot since its first release. Celestial Island is okay, but that's by the MSM standards, which are really high. I'm a little bit disappointed if we compare it to Starhenge, but the song still works out great. My favorite part about the song itself is the percussion. Celestial Island has got some really great percussionists. The thing I like the most about it, however, is not the song itself, but I really like the island design, and I think it's arguably the coolest in the game. Okay. I really like Cloud Island. It's probably my favorite among the Dawn of Fire songs. So similarly to Cave Island, this island also does some interesting things with reverb, and I quite frankly think that it was managed a bit better here. I gotta mention some of the monsters that go here, especially Shellbeat, which carries the entirety of the song. Wallaby and Fangle are also good. I can't find any flaw with this island. Cold Island ends up somewhere at the top of my list. So yeah, this is a god tier. This is a hot take, but I really like the song of Cold Island itself. Like, the melody is what I really appreciate. and I also like that it's a bit darker than most islands. The wall boxes work really great here, they don't disturb the song or anything, they fit really well, along with DJ, and even the dipsters aren't that bad. The continent is, in my opinion, the most tragically butchered island out of them all. And don't get me wrong, I like the continent, but it used to be one of the best islands, and it ended up in a situation where it was doomed to age just like your mom because of the sheer amount of monsters. The main problem here is that the original monsters like Kane and Furcorn, they take up all the spotlight from the new monsters, and it gives the island just an overwhelming feeling. Other than that, I have to mention the great melodies that this island boasts, because yeah, it used to be a really good island. Don't take this the wrong direction. Okay. Yeah, Earth Island has moved up in my rankings since the last video. It used to be in this awkward stage where the words did not fit the original melody of the song. However, all of this was fixed with the introduction of Epic Warbox and two amazing monsters in their respective ways. Earth Island is now one of my favorite islands, and apart from the aforementioned monsters, Reedling on Earth Island is what makes Reedling my favorite monster. Forester is also extremely good. My opinion on which island I consider the best in the game goes back and forth between this island and another one which I'm going to talk about later. But Ethereal Island is really just amazing. There's so much creativity behind each of the ethereals as well as the song in itself. The song is beautiful yet also dynamic and full of variation. What I appreciate the most about the workshop is just how different it sounds compared to other songs. The beat is mechanical and truly feels like some sort of workshop or assembly line that just moves along. The monsters are really creative both in design and in their sound. I like every single one of them. My one complaint about the island though is that even though it's now finished, it sounds a bit empty at some times, but yeah, this is a really good island. Fairy Island is pretty good overall. I love the upbeat and cheerful vibe that I get while listening to it. It has a certain level of goofiness, but in this case it's something good. It gets a little bit over the top when it comes to Cantorell though. Island design is pretty cool also. I do love how they decided to start off the music for Firehaven using leitmotifs that come from the Plant Island song. It really signals the sort of new beginning that Firehaven was supposed to be to the game. The song is also good in its other parts, and I want to notably mention Stog as the true carrier of the island. Stog is so great. Fire Oasis is an okay island. Don't get me wrong when I say this, but the reason that it goes lower is just because all the other islands are so good. I have two main issues with the island though. One of them is that the introduction of new monsters made it too goofy to enjoy. The other one is that I think the progression of the song is too slow, but I do like some parts. Cold Island is pretty good. I'm impressed with the sheer variation within the song. It is like a playlist of short songs combined into a larger composition. My favorite part is undeniably the ending, but the part leading up to it is almost as good. Although there are so many great monster tracks on Gold Island, I'm placing it somewhat low because the song doesn't always flow that well together and it also sounds a bit cramped. I love Light Island, probably more than most players. Some say that it is too repetitive, but I actually like this aspect of the song. I think that in this specific case it was handled really good, and the island doesn't get boring according to me. The slow and calm atmosphere is a great change of pace compared to what we are used to in My Singing Monsters. I think others have mentioned this too, but it can't be a coincidence that Magical Nexus sounds so much like a fan-made song. I say that as a neutral thing though, I don't know whether I should interpret it as something good or not. What I appreciate the most about the song is that Big Blue Bubble gave spotlight to the monsters that felt left out on the regular magical islands. Similarly to Ethereal Workshop, my favorite thing about Magical Sanctum is how different it sounds. Magical Sanctum is all about the atmosphere. It has a dark, eerie sound that I really love. The monsters that go here are badass, and the castle base is probably the best in the entire game. Mythical Island ended up becoming much better than what I first anticipated. I like both the calm and beautiful parts as well as the intense and gritty parts. I think that the contrast complements each other in a really nice way. I also want to mention the island design because it's super cool. I think it's one of the best in the entire game. I don't think that Party Island deserves the hate that it gets. A lot of people think it is the worst island, and I completely understand their points, but I think that the minimalist nature of it works really good in this particular case. The lack of monsters instead accentuates the few monsters that do go on this island, especially the beat. I mean, Sigrab and Stog are so good, and they totally slap by themselves. Ah yes, the original My Singing Monsters song. I really love Planet Island, but unfortunately I've heard it so many times that it is hard to me to appreciate it as much as it deserves. The melody in itself is extremely good and iconic. People who have barely played the game can recognize it. I'm going to have to mention the monsters here because they are so brilliant. Bogart, T-Rox, Entbret, Ghast, Octopus, Sugarbush, Hubox, you name it. The start of Psychic Island hits like a truck. And it is just brilliant. I used to think that it was very repetitive, and I still think that somewhat, but Big Blue Bubble has done a great job at breaking this up. The island has certainly aged well. I love the introduction of the fire expansion monsters here, and I think they added some well-needed variety to the song.
Okay.
This is the worst island song in My Singing Monsters, and people won't even be mad at me for saying this, to be honest. Don't get me wrong though, I don't dislike it, I just think it's disturbing. I'm not even going to use crap tier in this video. Or wait. I'm going to add the wordos and the dipsters to this video just so I can use crap tier. I'm not going to use it for any of the islands. Seasonal Shanty is very imbalanced in that it doesn't have enough melodic monsters. It only relies upon percussion and vocal sound effects. And when these monsters are on separate islands, it's all fine, but combined they create a really annoying atmosphere. Especially Gobblegord and Hula. One thing I'll give Shanty though is that the castle base is amazing. Sugarbush Island is pretty good. My favorite thing is that it is more structured like a real song, it being obviously based off an actual real song, Love or Money by Christian Bush, and because of this it has a more dynamic progression as opposed to your average My Singing Monsters Island, which is more rigid in its transitions between the different verses. I also think that Big Blue Bubble handled Sugar Walks pretty good. I think it would be a better model for the wordos than what ended up happening. I don't think they should sing in English, but yeah, that's just my opinion. Space Island is a good song. My favorite part is the beginning with Stog and Furcorn, but I also like the melody of the main part. If I'm going to have to say something negative about it, it is that the song awkwardly breaks apart at the end. You know which part I'm talking about, and it changes its theme completely in a way that doesn't seem natural at all, at least to me. Alright, let's face it guys, Stonehenge is much better than Celestial Island. Stonehenge is more heavy hitting, and I can't believe that they decided to get rid of those nice whoop whoop sounds for the baby version of Skaratar. Most Celestials are good, but I don't like Galvana at all. I've come to appreciate this island more and more as time goes on. I love the happy and calm atmosphere that is present within the song, and I also think that the composition is surprisingly balanced, which is my favorite thing about the island. Every single monster blends into the song organically, even Woolbox does. I will have to say this, that the wordos are even good on this island. Yep, this is the other island that I mentioned, and when I think about it, I'm convinced that Wobbling Island is the best island in the entire game. What is there not to like? There's not a single Wobbling that is lazy, they all make up a large portion of the best monsters in all regards. The song totally slaps as well. I love the upbeatness and the complex rhythm, as well as the bass line and the various filler effects that are created from the various projects. This song makes me feel like a gnome. Yeah, thanks for watching guys. Now you have seen me rank every island in My Singing Monsters, as well as Dawn of Fire. Be sure to leave your own rankings in the comments below, even though my opinion is better than yours. Tell me which island makes you feel like you're a gnome. Like the video if you like the video, And if you did, you should also go and check out my other tier lists. I have made far too many. I'll see you guys next time.